Oh yeah, something I saw on YouTube earlier by Ether GD. Zoink's rivalry with a cheater 1 day ago.
I know it's been like a year, but it's still insane to me that we thought Zoink was untouchable. And not only was he not even legit, but we have maybe 3 to 5 players now who are way better than he was as a hacker, and he completely hails in comparison to Zoink.
This is probably about Space UK, I bet, right?
I'm willing to
That was before I ever played, but I would be willing to put money on it.
say this is the biggest hacking scandal in all of GD history. Definitely the most shocking, and it's wild to see players
Lucky
in 2023.
It's been 3 years since Zoink was officially far ahead of everybody else on the team list. However, his beginnings were way different than most players, and his upcoming was nothing less than impressive. Zoink's career began around 5 years ago, but with his only accomplishment being Bloodbath, a demon that is now outshined by tons of other levels,
Dude, I couldn't even beat it. I mean, I know I was doing it without practice mode, but I couldn't beat it. I failed Bloodbath. And now I'm on Yatagarasu.
he would face many challenges due to his lack of skill, since the top levels were way more difficult than his best feat. But after grinding out a few other levels, Zoink soon found out that he was just fooling around, and realized that he had to take a massive jump in skill if he wanted to achieve his goal. While most players get better by progressively taking on slightly harder and harder maps, Zoink ignored the difficulty ladder and went ahead to defeat a level way harder than Bloodbath.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I think everyone should ignore the difficulty ladder. Playing by the rules is lame and boring. It's not something I'll ever do.
A few months into 2021, Zoink
No, it's actually insane. It doesn't matter whether you do or don't. The amount of people in the GD com that think it is a cardinal sin to jump from a level to a higher level, it is insane. I genuinely can't believe how many people treat jumping like a cardinal sin. It's honestly hilarious because, bro, just play what you want to play.
decided to take down Zodiac, a level that was added as number 1 on the demon list in 2019, and managed to stay in the top 10 for over 3 years. Zoink's jump from Bloodbath to Zodiac was massive, and shocked the community.
Wait, what's Zodiac at right now? All rated. Is that higher than what I'm on? Oh yeah, way higher. Zodiac, 118. Bloodbath jump to Zodiac.
When he finally beat it after 40,000 attempts in October of 2021.
I did it! I did it! Oh my god! I did it! 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 Oh my god! I did it! I did it! I did it! I beat Zodiac! Oh my god!
I remember when I first saw this guy practicing Zodiac. I thought he was joking considering he just beat Bloodbath. Can't believe he actually beat a top 5. GG, bro. However, 2 months later, Zoink's at the time biggest rival Space UK verified Slaughterhouse, which became.
Yeah, it is about Space UK. Dude, we're still on about Space UK. How many years after the drama? Like 3? Actually been so long. People still care about that. That's wild. I mean, I wasn't playing during it, but Yatagarasu, not even hard. What world are you in, bro? What world are you in?
Number 1 on the demon list. So the unnerved and fixed Slaughterhouse now won Space UK the verification race. Amazing job to him. Many people suspect whether or not he's legit, but I'm sure to say Space is legit. He just verified it in 41,802 attempts. Wow. And
True.
just like Zoink, Space UK also became viral for doing crazy jumps in difficulty, as he jumped from a top 75 level to Slaughterhouse, something that was completely absurd and unheard of, and even verified it with no reaction.
I can't fucking react, otherwise I'm gonna cry so much. Oh
I
my
can't.
god.
I
I don't
can't
know
react.
why, but just the fact that he's so cracked at the game makes me not like him. Soon after, Space UK was considered one of the best players in the world, with
Dude, I fucking hate good players, man. Oh my gosh. People who can do something I can't. Oh. Just fucking. Oh, go touch grass, man. Oh, so cringe.
some players believing that he was already the best, since Slaughterhouse was so outlandish and hard. But with such few achievements, he couldn't claim that number 1 spot yet. And as every one of the top players was pushing each other to defeat the demon list and get better, Space UK was progressing way faster than everyone else. Space UK is definitely the best player, but we should probably award the people who actively play the game. The dude literally quit and only comes back every once in a while. However, Zoink was getting better as well, as he decided to chase Space's achievement of beating the, at the time, hardest level, and in January of 2022, he would only focus on this project. But during that time, Sakupen Circles was verified and placed above Slaughterhouse, losing its #1 spot, while also
Such a
making
shit
Zoink lose
level.
his motivation to pursue this level at the moment. However, after 4 months of beating other demons on the top 75 list, Zoink continued working on Slaughterhouse and ended up completing it while even having Space UK in the chat on April 12th of 2022.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Dude, watching you progress in this game over the last few months has been awesome to see. You went from having Bloodbath as your hardest to Slaughterhouse. You love to see it. However,
Dude, it's actually insane. It's low key. Yeah, Slaughterhouse easy. My goat hurts jumping from Toe 2 to Tidal Wave has got to be the best thing ever. He's got it in, what, 2 runs now, right? Stop! I don't have anything to sell or promote, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always take it back if you decide you hate me. So that's okay. You cannot like me, but please at least consider it, please. Thank you. Okay. All right. Enjoy the rest of the video. Bye.
while Zoink's progress was impressive, Space had some remarkable feats as well, because during that same year, he beat the entire demon list of 75 levels, while also dedicating the least amount of time on the game. From that point on, there was only one person who could take down this titan, and with a level that nobody ever beat before, this was Zoink's chance to finally go head to head against Space UK.
Acheron!
Acheron was first showcased in July of 2021. However, nobody was able to verify it because of its excruciating gameplay. And with one Alpha Helix holding the 67% record, many players felt discouraged to try. However, Zoink not only picked it up, but buffed the level and made it way harder than the original, while saying that he only buffed it for fun. But with many hours of grinding on his own version and with a 91% record, Zoink was way ahead of everyone else.
You need to be Acheron. I don't know, man. I don't mind the music on the level. My thing is I'll play a level no matter how difficult it is if the music's good, and I'll play it till I beat it if it's enjoyable. Acheron just doesn't seem like it's fun at all. The music's alright. I don't mind it. It's good dubstep. It's some of the only dubstep I like in GD, but it's pretty good. Tidal Wave, overrated. I don't like it that much. If I was gonna go for anything in the top 5, not saying I will ever, but it would currently be Amethyst or Flamewall. Probably Flamewall. Yeah, song's alright, but I don't care for the level too much.
However, a 96% run completely shattered his mental health, and he decided not to push through. And even though he was ahead of everyone and only needed a few more sessions, Zoink decided to shift his focus towards other demons, all while Space was still grinding on Acheron. The rest of the levels on the demon list required him very few attempts, and felt like a breeze compared to Zoink's enhanced version of Acheron, which made him significantly better at the game. And after his relaxing break from Acheron, Zoink jumped right back onto it to finally win the verification race, and after he did, Acheron became the top 1 level on the demon list.
Dude, competing with a cheater and doing better is actually one of the most insane feats OAT. Like, I've played Apex and I've won a 1v1 or a 1v2 against a cheater team, but unironically, just competing 1-to-1 over months period of with a cheater is insane. That's like aura, man.
This is actually insane. I'm not even really surprised, but I'm mostly happy. Such a great level to take the #1 spot. At this point, after clearing out one of the hardest levels ever created, Zoink was only a few points behind Space UK based on the demon list score, and was closer than ever to becoming the #1 player in Geometry Dash. Easily the fastest improving player besides Space UK. Congratulations. But despite all of Zoink's hard work, Space won the Best Player of 2022 award, even though some players argue that he didn't deserve it since he didn't play as much as the others. However, many other
That's a really shitty metric. I might have done better, but I didn't play as much, so yeah, award shouldn't go to
players
me.
thought that this was the exact reason why he won, since the game was too easy for him. He also beats
That would
levels
make sense.
faster than Zoink. Space could easily do everything Zoink can. Zoink is the best non-Space UK player. However, in January of 2023, Zoink gathered more points than Space.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fair. Obviously, it would have been suspicious if he had every verification, but at the same time, Zoink has, like, every verification right now, doesn't he? So, I mean, I don't know. Like, it could have been, but it also couldn't have been. It just depends how we went about it.
After beating a level named XO, and finally became the #1 player in Geometry Dash.
Yo, XO to become #1 is crazy.
But despite his grind towards the top coming to an end, the public's attention shifted towards something else, since during that time, Space UK's achievements were suddenly removed from Pointer Crate's website, which had many players questioning why. And after a lot of confusion from the public, one of the moderators of the demon list named Paco uploaded a video titled Exposing Space UK on April.
Dude, I watched Moist Critical react to this. React to this video.
On April 25th of 2023. In the video, Paco showed evidence that Space cheated by including many clips where Space has click delay on tons of different levels, which is when the click sound doesn't match the gameplay and is either too early or too late. The first level where Paco pointed out click delays was the top 15 level named The Hallucination, where in some attempts Space makes multiple mistakes, so with a careful listen, it's clear what's going on.
I'm not good
And
enough
not
to
only
hear
that,
shit,
a few
but,
moments later,
you know.
Paco spotted another click that was out of place, that sounded completely different from the rest, which was most likely Space turning on a macro. Paco's speculation makes a lot of sense, since after the strange sound, some of Space's clicks were considerably more frames off than previously.
Wait, this song's a
But that same day,
vibe.
Space UK posted this on his Twitter. Every main list after my Sephiroth main list completion on May 8th of 2022 was hacked. I lost interest in actually playing the game and wanted to see how long I could go without being caught. Hacked completions include Aerial Gleam, Oblivion, Abyss of Darkness, The Hallucination, Kyoki, oh, I forgot Acheron too. And
The fact his clicks are that high are already kind of insane, though. But he wasn't bad at the game, right? Like, he was good. And then he started cheating while he was already good.
Oblivion, Abyss of Darkness, The Hallucination, Kyoki, oh, I forgot Acheron too. And after admitting to have cheated on almost every one of his completions in the past year, his reputation took a massive hit, especially after supposedly forgetting that he hacked the hardest level in the game. However, while these news cancelled tons of his achievements, they didn't discard the fact that Space was still one of the best players, since he was in fact Slaughterhouse's verifier. Or wasn't he? The final blow would be delivered only a day later, when the mods came to the conclusion that Space's completions were all fake. Every single level
From live stream fail is insane.
he had ever uploaded.
Oh, it's our live stream fail. Okay, never mind.
Was
Sub.
hacked. Space's method was to memorize every click of a level, record a macro that was enabled by a predetermined keybind, and then record himself clicking over the macro inputs.
Like, dude, at this point, just beat the level. If you're gonna memorize every click of a level, record a macro that was enabled by a predetermined keybind, and record himself clicking over that, like, you're already putting as much effort into it as you would, like...
While it completes the level for him. And while that method sounds very easy to get fooled by it, the mods cracked the code after paying attention to the end screen of every single level that he ever played, rather than focusing on his input delays. Zbot's developers made it so that the end screen text that says level complete is 64 pixels smaller if it was ever activated throughout the level, and it turned out that this was the only mistake that Space couldn't avoid. And while that hint from Zbot's developers sounds very easy to detect, the Demon List moderators didn't really investigate any of Space's record submissions, because of his status as the #1 player, as they probably thought that there was no way that the best player in the game was cheating. Space had carefully constructed his gameplay and personality, and was friends with most of the top players, making him even more credible, as he appeared to the community and pros as a genuine and chill guy.
This is so corny. I mean, I agree, but it's just like, this is... I in the big 26 it is a bit, you know, but it's like... Game, it was a huge thing, man. But you had Moist Critical. You ever see Moist Critical play GD? Moist Critical reacted to it, bro. Like, your number, the best. Like, imagine Faded. Imagine if Fade was just caught cheating, or Imperial How was exposed for cheating after playing for 6 years in ALGS. Imagine that.
wasn't about how he was playing. It was about how he treated the game, how he was so nice in the community, how he was so genuine. It seemed like that everyone kind of blindly believed him off of that and didn't really assume he was hacking at any point.
And not only that, as during the time in which he rose to fame, cheat detection wasn't as advanced as it is now, and everyone back then thought that if he was indeed cheating, he would have been caught way earlier. However, with all this drama swirling, many players found out.
Like, dang, say using CFGs, can never imagine. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, imagine someone you look up to, someone who's number one at something, just maybe not even the whole of the game, and then you grow based off of watching that person and learning from them, and then they just turn out to be cheating. You know how insane that would be?
About a video made by Colo GD in 2021, who accused Space of verify hacking Slaughterhouse after analyzing the audio footage of Space's video and the song.
There, the kick starts before than on the original audio, so it's shifted. And as you can see, there is some strange click here. So I think it's cut.
At that time, many players were arguing about that video's legitimacy, but 2 years later, Colo would turn out to actually be correct, even though most people were bashing him. I knew it was weird that someone who was only playing for 2 years immediately became the best player. It wouldn't be a reach to call this growth inhumane. But after going undetected for so long, Space did not only betray the community who welcomed him with open arms, but also stole so much attention and success from other players who truly deserved it.
Here's my thing. I don't know, the growth being inhumane, I mean, maybe not a number one player, but I think you could easily, if you have even a little bit of talent, get close to near the top leaderboard and some of the hardest levels in the game. I don't think that would be a stretch, to be honest.
With open arms, but also stole so much attention and success from other players who truly deserved it.
I respected this man so much, and I liked this guy. He was such a chill guy, and now I have to, like, you know, deal with him being a cheater.
One of the players who was heavily affected by Space's actions was Doggy, since he was robbed of so many achievements such as the verification of Slaughterhouse and the first victor of Acheron. Since after Space was exposed, Doggy claimed all of those records, even though it didn't feel nearly as satisfying.
I feel like the first emotion before being disappointed was kind of a positive emotion, because I was like, I was the first victor of Acheron, and all that effort didn't go to, you know, waste. But in the end, I was kind of disappointed in this man.
See, now I know why nobody else is verifying Grief, because he doesn't want to get cheated out of a record again.
And after stealing records, crushing dreams, and betraying his fanbase's trust, it was proven that in the end, Zoink was fighting and even surpassed a cheater. However, this didn't bring more attention to his name, since most players were speculating that he was probably cheating as well. The fact that Zoink beat a hacker without even knowing in the start of his run is amazing. From that point on, Zoink kept grinding, even though he was so far ahead of everyone else, and fast forward to 2026, he's now the verifier of the hardest levels in the game, and has become the face of Geometry Dash, with over 800,000 subscribers on YouTube. And not only that, as Zoink even collaborated with Jinxie, bringing even more attention to his name and towards the game, as the player base has almost tripled since October of 2025.
Yes, sir. Fucking goated, bro. My goat Jinxie. I need Jinxie to try verifying Slaughterhouse remake. That would be so tough. Jinxie should do a marathon stream where he has to verify an extreme demon. That would be so tough. Oh, never-ending stream. That was a good video. Good video.